Hi, everyone, and welcome to a very special Talking Insomnia episode. Anastasia's with us. Welcome.
Hi guys, I'm Daniel. Nice to see you.
Nice seeing you too. And for those of you who don't know Anastasia, you were a student in the Insomnia Immunity Program in the Sleep Coach School, and we are here to talk about like your journey and what you learned and everything from there. But first, I'll start with what has become my standard first question, which is like, how do you come in touch with me and the channel? How do you find it?
Well, it was a kind of mystical story, I can say, because I found your channel. I believe it was the beginning of May, and by the time I suffered from my insomnia for like, I guess, 8 months. Yeah, and I literally have tried it all by the time. And the last thing I have tried before I found your channel was very powerful psychotherapy. I found a great therapist who uses a great method of rapid personal transformations. And she really helped me with many aspects of my life. And that was a great experience. And she really helped me with many things, but for insomnia, because I came here with this inquiry that I want to work on this. Maybe I have some reasons for my insomnia, psychological reasons, and we need to find them. On our last session, she told me a phrase, and it was like, maybe you think you have tried it all, but maybe there is something you haven't tried yet, and maybe you should, just to look for something new. And on that session, we talked with her about the book called, I believe, the name of the book is Karma Management. A little bit, also mystical. And I Googled karma management, and somehow I can't explain it actually logically, but somehow I found a video on your video on your YouTube channel. And that video was about, it was a review on Sasha Stevens' book. So that was my first meet with your channel. Of course, I stopped at your channel. I started to watch videos. Actually, at first, I was quite lost in information because you have hundreds of videos, and I wasn't sure that that is something that would be interesting for me, because before that, I Googled a lot of information and it really didn't work for me. But I started with success stories on your channel. And I remember after that, it all happened very fast. I watched as much videos as I could during the day, like 3 to 5 videos every day. On the second day, I bought your book and started to read it. And I guess in like 5 to 6 days, I already joined the self-coaching program, because I was so amazed. I was so surprised the way you teach, and that was a complete shock to me. I remember it was a delight. I was screaming when I reading your book, like, what? Why nobody told me about that? That was like something completely new to me. So that's why it was very, very fast. I joined the program, and then, yeah.
Yeah, and we'll talk about, of course, what happened next. That's great summary, very nice summary, and I'm so happy, of course, that the Google algorithm like presented that video. It's so amazing.
Mhm.
But yeah, let's talk about what happened then. And by the way, if I forget, let's also talk a little bit about this rapid personal transformation. That would be really interesting to hear about. But first of all, let's talk about like how the insomnia. How did that all start?
Well, I have had quite a long journey. Well, to me, it's quite long. I know that some people suffer for like, for many, many years. My insomnia started at September, after about 3 weeks after I gave birth to my baby. And me and my husband, we were in a very big stress. So because our life has changed completely. But before that, I have to say, one thing I have learned afterwards was that I kind of planned my insomnia long before it started. because when I was pregnant, I heard from my friends with babies that babies tend to sleep not so well, and I might have sleepless nights in future. And sleep was so important part of my life. It meant so much to me that I started to learn about baby sleep. I was trying actually to protect my sleep, and I tried to find, like sleep consultant for my unborn baby. That was crazy. Now I understand that was like, the highest level of protection. I was very afraid that something would go wrong when she's born with my sleep. And so when my insomnia started, the start was very bright and very fast. Just after my first sleepless night, I was in a such shock. I was so stressed. I was so tired. I was so hopeless that I straight away started to solve the problem. And my circumstances around insomnia at that moment, they were like very big pressure from my family, because my husband, my parents, we lived at the time, we lived at our parents' house. They were um, they worried about me, and they also were in such, and stress and shock and everything, and they really tried to help me. So I started with prescribed medications very fast. Like, I guess after 1 or 2 nights, I started taking pills, because I was, I didn't know what to do. Like it was like, with all the stress, and everything. It was like, uh, I was absolutely sure at that moment that I would die if I don't sleep, because I have to take care of my baby and, everything, and do all the stuff. So I really was scared to death. So that's why all this pressure, internal and external pressure, led me to the path where yeah, I have tried it all. I have literally tried it all. And also by that time, on that time, these were COVID times, and I lived in. I'm a foreigner in this country, and I didn't have my own doctor. I had nobody to talk to, ask for advice. And when my sleeping pills were over, I um, I had to find new one, just to sleep, because I had this idea: if I don't sleep, that my health will be ruined. And after giving birth, health is not, so you're not in a shape for some time, and your health is like, it is going back to normal. So everything to me, like all this situation to me, it was very stressful, and I felt absolutely desperate.
And sorry to interrupt, Anastasia, but so you were prescribed some sleeping pills, but just for like a period of time. And did you find that they did help for that period of time, or they didn't really help much, or
Um, I remember that the first, like my first pills, I took like for a week, and after that, then situation didn't become better. I had to see the doctor to get new pills, but sleeping pills were said not to be taken for too long. So I was afraid to take them longer than 1 week. And with the doctor I found at the time, not my doctor, but some doctor that I managed to find, we talked about antidepressants. And so I started, it was everything happened very fast. And when it happened, of course, I have tried non prescribed medications by the time also. I have tried melatonin, like, no, well, everything. No, well, these herbs, these teas, like, well, a lot of things. And yeah, I got antidepressants, and I remember that I had nights when I took 4 pills, 4 different prescribed pills, and they didn't work. And it all, in my family, there was a situation that every morning my parents asked me if I had slept last night, and to my absolutely stressed feeling and feeling of desperate. I felt guilty also because every morning I said no, I didn't sleep. Like you know, like I was not good enough for them because every morning I had to say that no, I didn't sleep last night again. Yeah, so every day it was like it was a nightmare to me. And well, actually I'm quite positive person. I have never had suicide thoughts or something, but in that situation these were the darkest days of my life. I can say, like, I remember I just wanted that this whole situation just stop by any means, but literally by any means. So I was ready for everything. So I was taking pills for quite a long time. I have tried different remedies, they didn't work. And I went far, far behind because, when from other people, I hear stories like, I have tried it all. No, guys, you haven't tried it all. I have tried it all. I have tried absolutely crazy things. Do you know what is turpentine?
Say it again.
Turpentine.
It's some form of some solution that you use for painting or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yes, a kind of. This is crazy thing. I have tried baths with turpentine. I have tried, among other things, which I had a very long list of remedies, therapies, of practices. None of them worked. So, for example, what else have I tried? Of course, I have tried esoterics, yeah, like, mantras to the moon, crazy things. I also have tried xenon gas therapy, when you inhale gas. Like, I was trying to solve the problem because I was absolutely sure that I am doing something very wrong to my life and to my health. I have tried to listen to different lectures and courses, and they were oxygen to my insomnia because all of them were about those very strange and very strange facts that insomnia affects your health in a very bad way. I remember I bought a course of a person who was said to investigate and to research human sleep for like 20 years. And the first thing he told in his course was absolutely crazy. Now I understand it. So he said that if you do not sleep 8 hours per night, like if you sleep, for example, only 7 hours per night, then in 2 weeks you will have a condition. Your behavior will equal to your behavior um, if you drink like the full glass of vodka. So your condition of your mental condition and your health will equal this, like when you're absolutely drunk, which is crazy. Now I understand it. It's not true. And all the you mentioned in one of your videos, you mentioned Alex Guzey, and I started to read his articles. He's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. And yeah, and I also remember these facts from the course that if you don't sleep well, you will have high risk of getting cancer and all that stuff. And my mental state at that moment, with little baby, with these crazy things in my family and the completely new life, I was, well, usually I have this critical mind, but at that moment, I just absorbed all that information and I believed it was true. So that was my huge mistake. Yeah, so I have tried different things and none of them worked. Antidepressants didn't work, sleeping pills didn't work. Well, nothing really worked. So, but I was in constant looking for something new. So yeah.
Absolutely. So I know it painted a picture of, like, yeah, I can tell that things cycled very quickly. You tried something and it didn't work. You quickly jumped into the next one, quickly this one, and which obviously can create so much stress and anxiety. Needless to say. Now, at some point, it sounds like you came across this therapist who offered this rapid, what is it called again? Rapid personal transformation.
Rapid personal transformations.
And that seemed to help with some things, but is that kind of the next thing that happened, or what kind of happened next here?
Well, actually, I had found her like it was like I guess 1 month for like 4 to 6 weeks before I found your channel. She's a friend of mine. She's a great therapist, but I didn't really know what exactly was she doing. So at some point, I just decided to wean off my antidepressants completely because I saw they didn't work. That was absolutely useless. And I got that speed bump. Now I know that was a speed bump, but at that time I believed I have like a psychological dependency on my pills, like I'm too stuck on them, and I thought it was my problem. I thought that I also had a lot of anxiety in the evening time. In my evening routine was awful. I had a lot of physical symptoms, and I just didn't know. I just didn't know where to start. And my last point at my whole journey was CBTi therapy. I have to say that I had found out about this therapy in the middle of my journey, and I was I was so shocked to find out how cruel it is, how cruel this method is, that I have to say, my sleep, just after knowing about it, my sleep automatically improved for a couple of weeks because I was trying to avoid it so much. I didn't want to go there. I knew it would be torture for me. So I was trying to avoid CBTi, but I kept in mind that just in case this is the last point, I have to try it because I was sure that it is so cruel that it should work for sure. So just before I met this therapist, I applied. I called her because she's my friend, and just before that, I had 2 nights of CBTi when I started it by myself with a book about CBTi. And I have to say, these were like, the worst nights in my life, I can say. It was so hard to me. It was so awful. I will always remember that. I don't know how people how the people have this courage, how it can work for them, because to me it was absolutely unbearable. It was
Was
so
it was
hard.
it especially the thing that you had to monitor how much time, get out of the bed, get back into bed? Was it that was so? Was that the worst part of it, or what was the worst part of it?
Worst part to me was to get out of the bed. I didn't know that by that time. I didn't know that all these rules are not so strict actually, and but I believed I have to obey these rules for this like for this method to work. And yeah, so I had to get up every 15 minutes. Every time I went to bed, I knew that I would get up in 15 to 20 minutes. And it was torture to me because, and what actually what actually played a big role to it also were the circumstances. By the time we moved to a temporary flat, and the flat was the beginning of spring, and the flat was very, very cold, and we didn't have a lot of clothes with us, and we didn't have our personal things. So I knew I can't watch TV, or I can't listen to music, or to watch screen or something. But the only one book that I had in this flat was The Demons by Dostoevsky, which I adore actually. But in a very cold night, absolutely empty flat, when you have to get up every 15 minutes and you're so stressed, and the one thing you can do at night is just to read Demons by Dostoevsky. That was so that was so awful to me. Or I think I will always remember that. So yeah, and circumstances also played big role. But the hardest part to me was to get up. And afterwards, I have to say, when I worked with my therapist, we found out at one session that the one thing that my body really want to do when I'm awake at night, it wants just to lay down. It wants to do nothing. And this is, to me, no stress when I stay in bed with my eyes closed. And this is what my internal me wants to do. So that's why CBTi didn't work for me at all. I was like torturing myself, like it was
Absolutely.
really hard. Yeah, I was trying to avoid it by any means, and I didn't want to come back. So that's why I was trying to find something new again. The circle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that painted quite a picture with the cold, the CBTi, the demons by Dostoevsky. So that was kind of like, oh my God, that was like very intense there. And then you found, and we may not spend too much time here, but if you could just kind of maybe summarize or share a little bit about like this rapid personal transformation, what was it about?
Oh yeah, this is quite effective and very fast method of psychotherapy with results that you cannot, um, yeah, well, that results unquestionable results, and you get results straight away, and this is a way of cure your trauma of like we all have psychological traumas, some of them are unconscious, and we when we started to work with this method, I thought that like there is a reason for my insomnia, that something I don't want to face, that there is some hidden psychological reason because of my possible trauma, one of them. And yeah, and we were trying to find it. We were trying to find this trauma, and we found a lot of traumas actually. And a lot of things have changed in my life. My parenthood and my maternity has changed completely because of this therapy, but my insomnia stayed the same. And actually, every time after every session, when I believed and expected this time it would help, I had sleepless night or stretch of sleepless nights. So yeah, but by that time, I already started to to suspect that something is wrong here, um, and there should be another way of solving the problem. So, but I couldn't figure out which one. Of course, like you are, like in a dark universe, and you just don't know where to go. So yeah, that's why I treat the way I found your channel as really mystical, because I didn't know what to look for, and I found it. So that was really great. Yeah.
It's like that. I don't know if you heard that saying, like when the student is ready, a teacher will appear. Have you heard that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
That's great. Okay, perfect. So, I mean, when I say perfect, I'm like we talked about that. We have a very clear picture of what happened. You found the channel. You already started learning quite quickly. You joined the I now call it the Insomnia Immunity Program. We used to call it the self coaching program. Same thing. You joined, and tell us like what happened from that.
I joined, and I really liked your teaching and your method, because to me, I'm a kind of person who is, eternal student. I'm 37 and I'm still studying. I don't remember what what education I'm getting now, like no, like number, because I have had a lot, and I'm studying every time. And your method of beating insomnia, overcoming insomnia through education was my total match to me. Like it was my first like delight. Oh my God, this is what I want to hear. I don't want mindfulness. I don't want psychological things. I don't want esoterics. I don't want anything. I want very scientific, very educational approach, and it suits me very well. I knew it would suit me. So at first, yeah, I started to learn very quickly. But I have to say to you one thing. Yeah, one thing happened very quickly after I have found out how amygdala works. I called my psychotherapist with her method, and I explained her the issue. And I said, "What do you think? Maybe there is a way around. How do you think if we would try to hack my amygdala with your method? Because it is absolutely amazing. The method really absolutely amazing." And she said, "Okay, let's try. Let's try to hack your amygdala." And I have to say that after that session, the next day I have like a panic attack, like 24 hours long. That was the hardest day. I have had hardest nights already, but this day that was something extraordinary. Amygdala hacked me instead. That was really funny, and now I treat it as a very fun way. Like I tried to cut it short. I always tried to, find a way how to cut it short. Then I found out about CBTi that it usually takes 6 weeks. I thought, oh my God, 6 weeks! It is so long. I want to sleep like tomorrow. So like I have this impatience, and that's actually the second thing. I think that this therapy, rapid personal transformations, helped me because now I think I let it go. My impatience. I'm much more patient now. So yeah, and but on that time I was trying to find way around. I wanted a shortcut, but it didn't work. And so I decided to obey the rules that you offer actually in your course. Just go with the flow, go in your own, with your own speed. So there is no timing. Uh, Nobody knows when you will come. Yeah, and I'm a kind of person who is quite sensitive to other people's experience because my mind is very open, and I I may like overthink other people's experience, but still I decided to join a group to find out how it could work for other people, and I think it was a good decision to me because thankful uh, to the channel and thankful to other people's stories, I knew I'm in the right group of people. I belong to like to my people, to people who understand me, to people who know my every tiny emotion, my every tiny thought, and that developed a huge trust. Because trust was one of the main things to me, I guess. Like I've chosen to trust, and that helped me to let go control also. Because at the moment, at the beginning, there was a moment. Then I read it in your book, and then I have heard it. From one of the coaches, Michelle or Alina, I don't remember that. Or maybe from you. You wrote me that you are unique, but your insomnia isn't. But at the beginning, you're not sure that people around you, people in this group, they understand you. And you think, well, yes, it sounds like you understand me, but maybe my insomnia is a little bit, maybe my circumstances are a little bit different. Are you sure? And I had these doubts. And I had these doubts actually on my way. Like, I guess it's quite normal. But along with them, I chose trust, and that helped me. I have read other people's insights, coaches' insights, and I have like a small collection of them, and some of them really helped me. Uh, I told them to myself. I continued watching your YouTube channel and success stories from other people, and altogether, it somehow it somehow worked. Yeah, that magic happened to me. My nervous system started to calm down. But one thing I have to say, by the time I graduated from school, I can't sleep that my sleep improved like significantly. No, but I felt like this level of education is enough to me to just to take some time to wait and to be sure I would be fine. Because yeah, that phrase that you ask students when they graduate, are you do you understand that nothing in this world can make you sleep better? Uh, like what do you feel when you hear that nothing in this world can make you sleep better? I felt totally okay with this phrase and with this understanding. I guess on the 6 to 7 week. So I was okay. Like I felt like yeah, that is complete true to me. But I needed some time to to my nervous system to calm down. To yeah, and it took overall, I can say like a couple of weeks. I'm almost back to normal. Normally before my baby and before everything, I slept usually 8.5 or like 9 hours per night, and I started to sleep this amount of hours like 10 days ago, something like that. Yeah, and I know that there are some speed bumps on my way in future, but I'm totally fine with it. Totally fine. After I graduated for 2 months, I experienced all possible patterns of the sleep. It was very fragmented. It was so different, but every time, every period, every such period, I treated as my new normal, and it was like letting go, acceptance, and yeah, letting go. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I have to say now I understand that it is indeed very spiritual experience, the whole thing. So I have learned so much. I am completely different person. That is so true. Yeah, very deep, very spiritual. Yeah,
Wow.
that's true experience. Yeah.
Yeah, we should. Actually, that's we should spend just a little more time on that one because that's very close to kind of my heart and what I'm thinking about a lot, which is, and correct me if you see this differently, but to me, I believe it is definitely a spiritual journey. And when I say spiritual, I mean it's a journey of like learning about yourself, like seeing what's happening inside your mind. What are your thoughts, your relationship with your thoughts, and all of this. So, can you speak a little bit about how that has changed other aspects of your life, or where you see it changing it?
Well, first of all, to me, very important thing was acceptance and letting go the control, because I'm control freak and I control. I try to control sleep of my unborn baby. Like what? Like what? By the way, she sleeps from birth perfectly. Of course, of course. So yeah, and I have changed my attitude to parenting. As I said, also it affected my parenting. I became much more calmer person. So now I see things in a little bit different way. Sometimes I do not force them and just wait or let them be as they are. Well, actually, I'm still learning. I can say that I master it. Not in all situations I behave like that, but I see it is different thing. Um, Now I also have this awareness that I have never thought about that before. That not all the things in my life I can control. I have control over. And this thought has never come to my mind before. Uh, but now I see, like, I can't control a lot of things. I can't control other people. I can control their attitude to me, like, a lot of things. Yeah, and my inner me, my internal me, I guess that was a big journey towards myself, because facing fears, facing huge anxiety, and letting it be. Um, this was very, very deep and very, very important thing I had never experienced before. And by the way, about letting go, a funny thing also, not funny, interesting thing to me. I knew this, concept of welcoming fear, welcoming anxiety, just letting it be. But I guess I heard about it and I believed that I did it. But actually, I really comprehended only like a few days ago when I watched your success story. Your talk, I guess, talking Insomnia. I I may be mistaken. I don't remember the name of the guy. I guess it was Anders.
Yeah, Anders. Yeah.
Yeah, when he told his story about some pain in chest, that he said this phrase that something like I decided just let it be, and somehow I understood that let it be not at that moment, let it be forever. And that was a huge difference to me. Letting, being okay with it, not in this moment, not awaiting when other moment will come, just I'm okay for now, for this second or for this minute. Being okay with something like timeless, being okay with it, and meaning like it can last forever. And that was very new. This thought just at that moment came to my mind, and I thought, oh my god, I always thought like being okay with it in this very particular moment. No, the right thing is to be okay with it in timeless manner. Yeah, so that was new. And a lot of like small things I notice now that have changed completely. Yeah.
It's wonderful music to my ears, and yeah, I remember exactly the moment you talked about when he was walking with his girlfriend, I
Yes,
think,
yes.
and he was like, and that this actually the moment he said, "I'm done. This is okay. If I have this," then immediately felt better. It was a
I
magical
know.
moment. There were a couple of things I want to talk about. One was this is just for everyone who's tuning in, really, because I know this comes up a lot. This question about you said that you had a lot of physical experiences or symptoms or things like that. Can you just mention some of those?
Oh my god, I had a lot. Well, I literally shaking with anxiety. I had this, like very tensed muscles in my legs during the whole evening. Oh my god, I had, pardon, but I had diarrhea like kind of, every evening before I had to go to sleep. I had this like in my throat every evening, and it all started like after 6 to 7 p.m. When we had our evening routines, when I had to feed my daughter to make her sleep, and all this stuff. And yeah, fear, like waves of fear, waves of anxiety, some strange feeling of guilt, of being guilty. And it was such a mix of emotions. And it was like, yeah, it was a very unpleasant condition, with waves that didn't go away uh, the whole evening, and sometimes the whole night. I could do anything. I could do like, the things I enjoyed, but they stayed with me, and I had to be okay with them. Of course, I tried to avoid it. Of course, I tried to avoid them like for 9 months, and only being okay with it really worked and really helped me.
100%.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that, because again, I know a lot of when you said that, everything you said there, somebody who hears that will be like, oh, I can relate with that. That's always so helpful. And then there was this little comment I had, which was, I think is helpful for people tuning in, but for myself too, which was that you said that as so many others, particularly actually we start learning about insomnia, you can have all these weird patterns. Your sleep can be like, you don't sleep at all one night and you sleep the following night, or you sleep okay for 2 nights and not at all for blah, blah, blah. It can be all kinds of patterns. But what you said was that when you started being like, okay, well, this is my pattern now, that really actually helped. When each changing pattern, you said, well, this is the pattern for now, or something like that. So I think that's really helpful for everyone to hear.
Yeah, exactly. One thing I remember about what has changed completely, I want to say, insomnia is very lonely condition actually, because I have never felt this kind of loneliness in my life, like I experienced during these 9 months of sleeping between not sleeping of not sleeping between my sleeping husband and my sleeping baby. And this is so dark and so loneliness, that I don't know, what to compare with it. But I have to say that, going on this road and having experienced all that, um, I have learned to be with myself, without that feeling lonely. I'm now okay with it. Um, Not being jealous to sleeping people, and being just okay, being different from my close people, from my family, because it was very important to me earlier just to belong to them, we have to be all together. But now, when I experienced this of, condition of being very different, being like away from them, uh, in some way, and I learned how to be okay with it as well. That was important part for me. Yeah, it is a spiritual
Exactly.
part also. Yeah.
Yes. And maybe you see this a little different than I think of it. But to me, when I hear what you just said, to me, my thinking goes, it is when we notice that we are different from someone else, and we criticize ourselves for it. We think, it shouldn't be like that. Something is wrong with me. Why am I like this? Then it really hurts. But when we're like, yes, this is a little different, but I can be kind to myself. I don't have to criticize myself for it or judge myself for it. Then it becomes more okay to be by yourself or different or whatnot. Does it resonate?
Yes, exactly. Yes, that's how it works. Yes, absolutely agree.
Very, very
Yeah,
well.
so true.
And now, shifting subjects just a little bit, when you graduated, you said, even then you said, I think I want to become a sleep coach, and you're thinking of that as we speak, isn't it?
Yes, I was thinking of it just from the very beginning, because again, I have to say that your approach suits me so well. Yeah, and I like to not only to study, but also after I graduated, after I learned something new, I really like to spread information. So I'm not only a student, I'm also a teacher. And yeah, the whole thing, in insomnia, and all these, psychological and health issues around insomnia also suit me very well, because now I'm undergoing studies at university, studies of public health, and I was thinking of specialization, things like that. Yeah, and I'm really interested in that. And also, a funny thing, one of my previous professions is pastry chef. I was doing chocolates. I was chocolatier, and I worked with French chef. like in a huge chocolate company. And I have YouTube channel where I teach people how to work with chocolate, and it's quite big. It's like, I guess, like 75,000 subscribers I have for now. And I thought it will be really fun. On this channel, I kind of teach people how to eat, and I also can teach people how to sleep. So combo. Yeah. So that's what this is like, a kind of my nature. This is what I like to do. And since I'm studying now, I'm studying this, very related to health. Uh, my studies are related to health issues. Yeah, and I love to study and I love to spread information and I love to teach. I'm really thinking of becoming a sleep coach. This is very, very good for my nature, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it fits me well. I feel like it fits me well. Yeah.
Obviously, you'd be amazing given your persona and your
Hopefully.
but yeah, that's funny you share that. I noticed on your Instagram there was a lot of pictures of like baking. I was like, oh, Anastasia must be into baking, but I didn't know you actually had like a professional background there.
Yeah. It's like a hobby now, but still I'm doing it because I enjoy it. Yeah. So.
And oh yeah, I just want to. This is going to be like just very brief plug here for the program. So for those of you who are watching it now, today is September 16th, 2021. We have actually every 4 months there are 4 slots, to become a sleep coach in a batch. Next one is October 15th, and Chris has taken 1 slot. So for anyone hearing this is interested, there are 3 slots available. Maybe Anastasia will take 1. Who knows? But do let me know if you're interested. So with that said, yeah, anything, like I know you were maybe writing things down, or I would just ask kind of final question here, which is like to anyone that is in the situation that you were some months ago, maybe they're a new mom, maybe something's happening, like what would you tell Anastasia 9 months ago?
Oh my God! Oh my God! This thing. I when I remember how it all started and how insomnia stuck me and it didn't happen with my husband, who was in a very similar stress. And when I remember all the steps I made, how it all happened. Oh my God! I just want to say to myself, just let it go. Just wait. Please do nothing. You remember that once on the drop-in class, I said that I had this idea of like, I didn't see improvement for like, I don't know, 1 week maybe, because it takes time. Now I know. Until you're there, you don't believe in many things. But then just like this, it happens. I said that I got this idea that maybe I should give up self-coaching program, and then another idea came to my mind, to give up what exactly. I'm doing nothing. How can I give up doing nothing, and to do what, like what? So
Exactly.
yeah.
I'm so glad you brought that one up, because that when you said that was on my mind for several days. That exactly. I'm just going to repeat it for everyone who's listening. That I remember you saying like, I have this idea of giving up, and then like, but give up what exactly? The whole idea is nothing to do. So which by the way, the great teaching point here is like when often people say you want to give up, they actually mean the opposite. They mean, I'm going to go back to trying pills or trying this or trying that, which is the opposite of giving up. So truly giving up is the way.
Yes, it is. Yeah, so true. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, it's been amazing, Anastasia. I think this will help so many people out there. So I just want to say, so glad I got a chance to work with you, get to know you, and thanks so much for coming on today.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Daniel. Yeah,
I know.
it was a pleasure.